What's happening, Hardscapers? This is episode 200 of the How to Hardscape podcast. That is episode 200. Thank you so much to everybody that has listened to 200 episodes here. I really appreciate each and every one of you listening in, week out, every Monday when we drop a new episode. And I've tried really hard to keep the topics from not repeating as much as possible and to bring on new and fresh guests each and every week so that you can go back, listen to these episodes, even if you've listened to them before, or even if this is your first episode that you're listening to, that you can go back to the very beginning and each and every episode is still relevant. It's still evergreen. You can still get a lot of great information from these episodes. We launched this podcast back in October 2019. And a lot has changed in the industry since that period. It has been a wild ride in the industry, as well as with what we've been trying to do with How to Hardscape and trying to develop things that will help hardscapers. Just a quick rundown of what we've got since we started. We actually started the website back in January of 2019, and since then we have over 100 articles written on the website there, and that brings in a lot of organic traffic from Google. We've got our Instagram page, which was our launching platform to really help inspire and promote contractors in our industry. Through that, we started the podcast, like I said, in October 2019, and now we're on episode 200 with that. We've also got the I Am a Hardscaper YouTube channel, which has now more than 100 videos with that. At the beginning of 2020, we launched the budget and estimate spreadsheet, and that was developed over a couple of years afterwards, where we actually updated and sent out that update free to those that purchased it. And then this year we decided there was no much more that we could do with those spreadsheets in order to bring more functionality to them. We kind of maxed out everything that we could do with them. So we transferred those spreadsheets into our own software at the How to Hardscape headquarters, and that's available to members on the members.howtohardscape.com website, along with that software that helps you project manage, budget, estimate, and so much more. We've also got training courses on hardscaping that you can actually assign to your employees as training, onboarding, or use for yourself there. And we've got big plans for the future, including we are building out our careers website. That's careers.howtohardscape.com, where you can utilize that for free, post your job postings there. And if you sign up to our email list, you get a 100+ point job description for various jobs in the hardscape industry that you can utilize to just copy and paste over. And we're just going to be building out that members only platform quite a bit more in the future. So we got big plans for that. If you sign up, you are locked in on your pricing there. So the pricing will increase as more features, as more content is rolled out there with the software as well as with the training courses. So it's always best that you sign up earlier rather than later. And that's what we've done to date with the How to Hardscape platform. And we got, like I said, lots more planned in the future, which we'll be announcing as those features do come available here. If there's any features that you want to see in the future from us, anything that you want us to help out with in the industry, just shoot me a message at How to Hardscape on Instagram or send me an email, contact@howtohardscape.com. I think everybody and anybody that once again listens to these podcasts, shoots me a message afterwards, has recommended guests, likes, shares, comments on photos on Instagram or on YouTube, has left us a rating and review on Spotify or Apple. All of these things I really do appreciate each and every one of you doing. We're trying our best here to bring as much value to our industry. So once again, I really appreciate you sticking around for 200 episodes now. And on today's episode, we're joined by returning guests for an I Am a Hardscaper Roundtable Rally. This is where we bring back guests that have been through the I Am a Hardscaper one-on-one interviews, the I Am a Hardscaper Roundtables, and now everybody that's gone through those, we just throw together a quick conversation on a single specific topic. On today's episode, we talk about social media, the impact that it's had on our businesses, and as soon as we get into it, we just hop right into it. There's no introduction, there's nothing like that. We left the introductions and the closing comments to the very end if you want to know from each of these people that have joined us for these episodes. And I can't say thank you enough once again to our returning guests and the time that they also put into these. So I would really appreciate it if you went to their pages on Instagram or wherever they want to send you to and show them some love there. And with that being said, we want to say thank you to our sponsors, Cycle CPA. If you're looking for bookkeeping, accounting, CFO services, reach out to Cycle CPA at cycle_CPA on Instagram, as well as just cyclecpa.com. Reach out to them, let them know How to Hardscape sent you for $200 off their services there. And we have a new sponsor on today's episode in going forward in the future here. GPS Track It. You may, if you listen to other podcasts in the industry, already heard about them, but if you're considering GPS tracking in your business, we'll be talking more about this later in today's episode, as well as in a future episode when we actually get to sit down and speak with a representative from GPS Track It, what GPS tracking can do for your business, and so much more. So if you're looking for GPS tracking, go to gpstrackit.com/how-to-hardscape. And without further ado, let's get into today's I Am a Hardscaper Round Table Rally.
We've seen it slow down a little bit. I mean, last year we were booked out with 2 crews, we were booked out through August at this point, and now we're only booked out through June. Which, I mean, I'm not complaining about it, but also we've had probably one of the worst winters we've actually had in 10 years.
Wow.
So you know what? I think that's been everywhere though, because and we get snow in Montreal, but in January we were 0.3 centimeters away from breaking like an all-time record.
Really?
Yeah. It was. Yeah. This year is bad everywhere.
Here in Toronto, it's been easy. Like we've barely gotten snow.
Really? We've got a ton of snow this year. Upper Midwest.
I haven't even had an off season.
Yeah. I know.
We're just working through it. So it's been pretty mild here. So luckily. So.
For our podcast listeners, Scheller is reporting from his excavator. So Scheller, thank you so much for taking the time to do this.
Hey, no problem.
Tony is reporting from St. Lucia. So Tony, thank you for the time from vacation there.
Hey, if I don't have time now, when will I make it, right?
Everybody seems to be everywhere. Evan, Pride Hardscape, he's reporting from Chicago at an aquascape thing there.
Yep.
And Nick, you're back home, right? You're in Wisconsin, right?
I'm sitting in my comfortable kitchen right now.
Awesome. Well, those are our guests. This, I guess, will fare for our introduction here. This is episode 200 on the How to Hardscape podcast. So to my continuing guests, guys, I really do appreciate the time that you take to actually sit down with me. I love the time that I get to ask you guys questions and let you guys speak more than me. So I do appreciate every time that you guys have come on the podcast the past 200 episodes, and the times that you'll come on, hopefully, I hope in the future as well. So guys, I appreciate it. Just wanted to get that out of the way, as well as I was saying kind of before we started recording, it's something that's top of mind here for me is how new leads are going to continue to come into my business, and where I'm not going to have to spend money on marketing dollars to get those new leads. And one thing that's been on top of mind is how I'm going to continue to improve my social media, as well as like everything that I got going on YouTube and everything, because I'm getting more and more leads coming through my YouTube channel, which is small. Which surprises me, as well as like the quality of leads that are coming through. So I'm going to just throw this out there. How do you guys value your social media in terms of leads coming in? Or are you more so trying to appeal to the contractor to try to network that way? Is that, like, what's your social media strategy in general? What content are you creating, and who is it for, and is it working? Are you guys getting the leads that are coming in? Are you guys, getting the networking through contractors that are coming in? I'm going to lob this to anybody that wants to take away with it here.
Mic drop. I guess I'll go.
Go ahead, Pride. You're the man.
Awesome.
I don't know about that. No, I mean, it's definitely helped our business. I mean, social media has been a great part of the business. It really helps the clients. Instagram, especially for us, we actually are starting to hire an editor for our YouTube videos, and YouTube shorts are coming out. Because in case we do get hacked with Instagram, we have nothing. Like, that's like what we've built our platform from. So we're going to start leading into more of the YouTube shorts starting out, and then our longer jobs, we're going to start doing YouTube videos. Nothing like tutorial. I'm not trying to teach anybody. I'm just trying to get maybe a little bit different viewing. We recently went through our Instagram, and 30% of our followers are 18 to 23, and then 15% are 13 to 17. So I'm not complaining about that for what it is, and then the other 60% are between 35 and 55. So I'm hitting that range where I want to hit it for sure. But I'm actually kind of excited that younger people are actually watching it, because that means they're interested. That means they actually are thinking about this as a job and maybe a career. So I think I need to kind of take some of that and actually start using that. So we're going to start doing more social media for kind of more for the younger a little bit. The YouTube channels will be kind of leans towards some younger kids, kind of more hip, kind of more exciting. And then for the client wise, it's really nice to have the Instagram for them getting to know my business. Like before they go sign that $50,000 or $250,000 contract, they get to figure out who I am, how we work, what our tools look like, what our equipment looks like, and what our job sites look like. And I feel like that's been the best for us, because they're coming from either Instagram or Google. Google has been a huge one for us. I talked to everybody about this Google search engine, and Google owns Facebook too now. So Google, that's all connected. So the Google search engine, if you post weekly pictures on that Google search engine, we've gotten our last 6 leads off Google.
Wow.
So yeah, and then we have 455 pictures on our Google search engine, so they don't even have to go to your website, guys. All my people say we haven't even gone to your website. We just looked at your Google pictures. So I go back to that all the time. So that's definitely Google and Instagram has been great, and you got to push social media in the new generation.
And Evan, you've really focused on reviews, right?
Yeah, and I've actually been upset at some of my past clients. So if they hear this podcast, past clients, I've sent you your emails. You said you'd give us a 5-star review, and we haven't seen those yet. But yeah, I push for review. I don't push them for reviews, but definitely about 2 months after the project, I check in on them, make sure there's anything we can do, and we ask for a 5-star review. We don't say, "Can we get a review?" We say, "Can we get a 5-star review?" So we just put that in your head. But yes, that helps a lot for sure.
And Tony, you were saying something there?
Well, like for us, I've been told by so many people that we got to get on TikTok. And yeah, I don't know, man. It's like I felt like I was like hip and in it and everything. And I can't understand what kind of content we could put on TikTok. It's like I'm not gonna stand out there and do like viral dances and shit. So I don't know.
Come on, you can start on vacation.
Right, like my brother had this idea, like where he would just try to get me to do every TikTok trend, and I will just say no to every single one and try to make that its own thing. And I'm like, I just don't understand how TikTok could benefit our business, because like my kids are on TikTok and they watch that bullshit all day.
I don't think TikTok would. I mean, what I learned from this weekend was from Greg is to get the older clients, it's actually Facebook. And Facebook is connected with Google, and Facebook is connected with Google now. So like if you're posting on Google and you're posting on Facebook, they're going to like you more. I don't know how the algorithm works, but they're probably going to push you more because you're using their program. So Facebook, we're going to start now putting all of our reels, because Facebook's turning into short reels now.
Yep.
If you haven't noticed that, Facebook is actually turning into having short reels like Instagram because it got so popular.
I started doing where my reels go to Facebook automatically from Instagram. So I just set up the metaverse thing, the meta business suite. So you can like time post, and they'll put it on Instagram and Facebook, and you can do your reels can go straight there. Your stories can go straight there if you want them to.
You don't have to change the music. You don't have to change the music rights for Facebook.
No,
the music.
It's all together. I think it's the same company as far as I mean, the meta thing is it's Facebook and Instagram. So
we won't be able to post stories. We can't post we can't repost our reels to Facebook for some reason.
No, you don't repost. You go to the Meta Business Suite, and then you can set it up. Okay. You have to merge your accounts. So like Scheller Outdoor Living Instagram and Scheller Outdoor Living Facebook are the same. Okay. So now people are seeing the reels that I post every day on. If I don't want one to go to Facebook because it's more I guess the way I do it real quick is like I don't want to be, I'm not trying to be an influencer or anything. I love the industry. And I was thinking the other day, like that word ambassador, I've kind of used that word in my career as like, I've been an ambassador for other contractors in the industry. I've been an ambassador for my clients. I've been an ambassador for the whole, for the whole industry. So like, I use my social media in different ways. Like Instagram is actually, I think, more focused on, the contractor network that I have, but also my clients are following me there. They're seeing they're updating themselves with where we are on projects. They're seeing the process. They're seeing what we do, what we offer, how the project looks, as it goes. And then Facebook, I've been doing some reels on Facebook, and then it's more of just like pictures and updates and like, here's our progress. And like, cause that's where I think where the buyers are, like you were just saying a minute ago, or the age group that I'm targeting. And then I've kind of done that all along. And then YouTube, I hired an editor for YouTube just because I don't have the time, but I feel like our projects are elevated. So I really want our content to be elevated. So as far as my YouTube channel, and this year I'm chronicling this project we're on now because I think it's a very interesting project, but then also I'll pick different elements of projects or different things that I want to highlight on YouTube. And hopefully that becomes a place for some education and just some of our process. And then that's just kind of how I'm working. I use LinkedIn too. I'm on all of it pretty much, except TikTok. I don't want to go down that road. So
yes.
So anyway,
I don't know, exactly. Tony. I've seen your beach model shots. I think you could become a TikTok influencer.
I could be. I think no. That's all on my OnlyFans. Like TikTok is. I'm really putting my eggs in my OnlyFans basket, man. So,
hi, Andy.
I want to interrupt this episode to talk to you about GPS Track It. When it comes to running a landscaping business, the question isn't what do you do, but what don't you do? If it's not a customer that needs your attention, it's one of your drivers or one of your vehicles. But you already know that GPS Track It exists to help you know more than what you already know, like the most efficient routes to maximize your service potential, like whether or not your vehicles and crews are where they're supposed to be, like how to save unnecessary fuel costs and other costs. And we're going to be covering the benefits of GPS tracking in the future on this podcast. So we're going to continue with the benefits of GPS tracking, but we'll let our fleet advisors give you the full picture. Call 866-693-1291 or go to gpstrackit.com/howtohardscape. Once again, that's 866-693-1291 or go to gpstrackit.com/howtohardscape. Link will be in the show notes.
What's
Andy,
up,
thank
guys?
you so much for joining us. I appreciate that.
What's up? Yeah, thanks for having me.
I was just asking, and it's open to anybody to continue commenting on, is like how you value your social media and how you value things like YouTube and all these things that you're posting online. Is it accomplishing your goals? Is it actually paying off the time that you're actually investing in it in terms of your business specifically, like Mulder Outdoors, Schiller Outdoor Living, and all your guys' businesses? Has the time invested really paid off? And it's top of mind for me, especially just to tell you guys kind of why it's top of mind for me. My last lead that I went to, my last quote, was a younger gentleman. And I've heard for quite some time now, this biggest wealth transfer in our history is coming up, blah, blah, blah. And I never really kind of paid a lot of attention to that. But, the older generation is unfortunately dying out and leaving their wealth to their younger generation. And this is the generation that's coming up in the social media area. And they're like, this younger gentleman reached out to me through YouTube for a small YouTube audience. It's amazing that I got this lead, but this is why it's kind of become top of mind that, you know what, I think I need to put more eggs in this basket of social media to get the new generation that's coming up as they kind of continue to grow. And I just want to know your guys' thoughts on this as well.
That's really
interesting. I was going to say, it only takes one, right? I mean,
yeah.
If you just get that client that sees you and you're spending the time, posting stories and putting the content out there. It just takes that one to make it all worthwhile. It wasn't directly because of Instagram Reels or stories or everything, but I think it helped solidify me sell like a $250,000 project. Just being on there and then being able to see the type of work, just like Evan was saying, get to know you better and things like that. So it's super important, and it only takes one to make it all pay off. So
it definitely adds to credibility. I think it gives you credibility, even though anybody can put any content out, but if you're putting content out in the field, it's you're not smoke and mirrors. This is the equipment. Right. This is my crew. This is my process. So it's actually giving you credibility. You don't have to sell that to a client. They're seeing it for themselves way before they even decided to pick up the phone. I find, like, I have my wife's always on my case about posting. Take a picture, post something. I get texts like all day, post something. I find just as things are, like, I rolled the Instagram wave, and it's definitely, I'd say most of our work comes from social media. We don't market anywhere else. We're playing around with Google a little bit now, Google Ads and stuff like that, but I've never really done that. It's always been through social media. The thing is, I feel like I don't know what to post anymore. I feel like everything's been done. Everything is.
It doesn't matter.
Almost repetitive.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah. It's new stuff. It's a new color patio. It's a new color stuff. It doesn't matter. We post. We're famous for our time lapses, right? Like, literally, like, that's all we like to do is time lapses before and after. And we have a niche for it and do it. Like Andy, we'll go to Andy. Equipment, Scheller, all those guys, like, they got a niche with equipment and also their projects. So just keep posting it, and get on the Google. I don't pay for Google Ads, but keep posting your pictures on Google weekly.
Do you physically do you go directly to Google and post your picture, or is it all through your website, through your platform?
I made an account that says Evan Newcomb, owner of Pride Hardscape. So when they see those images are downloaded, they're coming from me. So I actually I made a Google account.
Yeah, you can make a Google My Business page, it's called. So you go on Google and you take over, if you haven't already, take over your business so you can mess around with the hours and all the things that you do on there. But then you can post directly through the Google My Business app. You can post pictures and all that stuff. So
yeah. But going to Andy with equipment, like, he's got a niche. Let's hear it. You keep posting it's over and over stuff, right?
Yeah, I think that it's important.
Andy, you're cutting out there.
Andy, I feel like you just hired your AI to do this. You're on a beach somewhere, and it's just like
Andy's got ChatGPT doing his thing here.
He's got to do his guru. He's got to do his guru. He's got to go to his guru meeting, dude.
Can you not? Can you hear me or no?
Yeah, you're good now. You're good now.
Okay. I was saying, I often am thinking like I'm posting the same thing every day or whatever. It's the same thing over and over again. But I'm telling you, like, the last 4 people that I've met with all follow me on social media, and it doesn't matter. Like, they're watching, and they're watching for a long time before they contact you, and it's 100% worth it all the time. It's the most valuable part of what I'm doing right now is social media, in my opinion. It's funny. I'm preparing to talk next week in front of the whatever. It's a Northwest Indiana Landscapers Association, like, their yearly meeting, and they asked me to come and talk about efficiency and equipment and how to use social media to better your business. And I'm preparing this talk, and it's crazy to think, like, I'm talking in it about how in my contract I have in there, that we are gonna take pictures, and we film for YouTube and film for Instagram, and that it's important that if a client declines that on their contract, like, they don't want us to do that, like, that could be a definite deal breaker for me, because, like, it's hard to even think that that's a thing, but, like, if I can't post pictures of something that I'm doing, like, that's literally part of the job now, because the next job is going to come from potentially that job, and that next job that comes from the one that they won't let me, that could be anywhere from $1,000 to $2 million. You know what I mean? So you're talking a potential of $1 million loss because you couldn't take pictures or story it or make YouTube videos about it or whatever. And that sounds like such a crazy thing to say, but I've never turned down a job. I've had two people in my career say they didn't want me to take pictures or put videos up, and I still did the job. But that was 4 years ago or 3 years ago, I think. So, I don't know what I would say now if somebody did that to me now, but I just know that
they would.
That's true too.
It's a weird thing to decline. I don't
think they
know.
would. Now
it is, but
yeah.
people get weird about. Some people get weird about that stuff, but it's just I don't know. It doesn't cost me anything. It's become part of what I do every day, and it's paying off big time. Not only in getting the jobs and like the jobs are sold before I even go there. I can't even tell you the last time I bid against somebody on a job, and I really mean that. And I mean, it's just crazy. And not to mention, the value that I've been able to get from the relationships I'm having with contractors. I mean, I could trace my social media back to seeing a tilt rotator for the first time ever. And the value that I have in that, it literally will change my life. So you can't put a value on it. It's so high. It's just, I don't know. It's priceless.
We had one client, I'll tell you right now, we had one client during the middle of a job. We were in the middle of a job, and she goes, "Hey, Evan, I have a question." I'm like, "Well, what's wrong? You have everything okay?" She goes, "Yeah." She goes, "There's no camera filming." And I go, what do you mean there's no camera? She goes, "Well, one of the reasons we hired you was because we wanted to be on your Instagram." So what did I do? I went and got my personal camera, went and got on a ladder, put the battery on it, set time lapse up. We bid her job. We were $12,000 higher than every company.
Wow.
That she had 3 other bids, and we were $12,000 higher. At the end of the job, she goes, "I want to say thank you for 2 things. I love my front entry, but second, most importantly, we got 1.7 million views on your time lapse with our video." And she literally, she handed me a check, and she goes, "All my friends saw it. It was amazing." She goes, "Now I can remember." And now I learned something this weekend, guys. This is what's great. A huge selling point to these clients is you can give them a full time lapse of their project.
Yeah.
They can put
they think that's super cool, and they show all their friends.
Oh, yeah, they can put it in a time capsule. Like literally, like they can watch their project. They can make a video. You have a video for them to show everybody the process, and they're going to show people that. It's like it's stupid if you don't have social media, in my opinion.
Now, Evan, imagine if they're selling their home, right? Yeah. And they could actually use this video to show that, yes, we just did our patio, we just did our front entry, whatever, just to show the new buyers, we're not even trying to hide it. These no corners were cut. This is how it was done. So you're buying quality. Like this is, because anybody could just put down pavers and quick, put lipstick on a pig and sell the house. But this is to show, like, look how well it was built. You can run this by any professional, and they will attest to how well this is built. So it's actually it's beneficial to them as well if they decide to sell the house. It adds value.
Yeah. I went to an appointment yesterday as a referral from the project we're on, and it was the first appointment I've had this year because I'm just starting to book for like later this year and fall, whatever. And I almost didn't even have to give my spiel because, like, "Oh yeah, we're following you." They know exactly where we are on the project. Yeah, they're like, I'm like,
the job's a done deal.
Yeah, like you were saying, it's like they don't even care. I'm like, I'm throwing out budget numbers. They're like, yeah, whatever. Just, like it's kind of it's crazy. But I mean, if you that's what I've been saying is, like, if you're showing what you do or what you want to do, then that's what people will gravitate to. So like, I keep saying, like, don't show like little stuff you don't want to do. If you're wanting to excel and go to bigger projects, like figure out a way to do an inlay or do a project where you're setting yourself apart to then post that and go on to the next. Because like we don't even get called for things we don't want to do because we're showing what we do, and people expect a big project out of us, I guess, which is nice. We're also exhausted. We want to do a small project.
I think it's super important to share. I think it's super important to be authentic and for the owner to actually be doing the social media. I think I think anybody that's paying people to do their social media, you're never going to get the return on investment, in my opinion. Unless you're I really think the owner, if the owner can do it, it's the best possible situation. But if anything, if the owner is at least doing the stories or something, I know like Evan, I know your wife does a lot of the videos and stuff, but you're still on the stories every day. And people want to see your face, and people want to, because and I'm talking to more people that are listening to this that have social media like managers or people that are doing their social media. You're never going to get the return on investment that you will if you have somebody personally that has personal interest in the company doing the social media, because I know every company in my area, and I know 100% that who is doing their own and who is not. And you can see right through that stuff. And so can everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's something that's probably not talked about to people that are trying to use social media for their businesses. If they're just paying, they're just looking at it like, okay, I'll hire somebody to go do my social media and I'll put, stock photos up or whatever. Like that, I don't think you're going to get any return on investment for that. I really don't.
It becomes so generic. I've tried hiring social media experts, marketing companies. The problem is that because of social media, it's been great, how to build your business. And like I said, it gives credibility, but sometimes it gives credibility where it's not due. And there's a ton of kids that are like, oh yeah, look how many followers I have on my personal account. But just because you're posting your night out and you're posting cars and you're posting this shit that you get a lot of followers, doesn't mean that you know anything about my industry. And it doesn't mean that you could even know what kind of content to create. And I feel like, honestly, I've been really, really let down by a few people that I've tried out. And it's been a very short-lived trial period. I like you said, it has to be, you or somebody within your company. Like I have my brother that I brought on who works on the site every day with me as a manager. And he does a lot of the content too. So you get that authentic feel. Because you could tell when someone has no idea what they're speaking about and they're just posting versus somebody who's actually doing the job. And I think in our industry, like you said, that it's extremely important that there's someone with construction boots on that has the phone in their hand.
Well, I mean, I only watch the people that show their face. I mean, I don't. My stories is I only watch you guys, and obviously, I mean, you just have to be not afraid of the camera. Like you're going to show your bad days. They're going to see your true emotions. Like you're a real person. Like you're not a star on Instagram or whatever because of 100,000 followers. They're going to see you're a normal person trying to succeed in this business, and you're showing the people what you're doing, and also showing your daily struggles and your ups and downs. I mean, shoot, Craig, you showed a whole pool process. I mean, I talked to you about this last time. That's you're showing that we do make mistakes, but Are we going to fix them, and then we're going to finish this project as a team together and with you as a customer? Yes, we're going to get through it. So it's cool. I think Andy, that was a huge point bringing up. I tell everybody follow our social media if they want to gain followers, but you have to post yourself. I didn't even say any of the stuff I said. You have to show your face. That's a great one, Andy.
It's funny that we're talking.
Go, Nick.
It's funny that we're
talking. Go ahead there, Nick.
I was going to say, it's funny that we're talking about all this because I just got done. There's a local hardscape yard that put on an education day, and they invited me to do a social media panel with a couple other local. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And it ended up being a lot of people there that were super interested in this stuff. But one of the questions that the host asked us was like, "What's one takeaway?" And I said, keep it consistent. Obviously, you got to post, consistently, but you have to get over the fact that you that you get anxious about being in front of the camera or whatever it is. You just got to get over it and put it out there, and eventually you'll get used to it, and you won't think you sound dumb or whatever. I mean, it takes a little while, but it is what it is, and it's the most important thing is just people getting to know who you are and what kind of business you run, and I mean, you just got to get past it, Yeah.
Craig, when you first started your Instagram, I remember us talking. You're like, I don't want to show my face. I don't want to. Now you're all over the place. Yeah,
I was talking last week in Omaha, and I was like, I said it is still the most awkward thing I have to do. Like, but I feel like I have to do it, you know. Yeah, and there was a guy up there that follows me. He goes, "Yeah, you can sometimes tell that you don't want to be on there." And I was like, "Oh, well, that's good feedback because I should probably smile a little bit more or have a little bit better energy because it's and that's just how I am. I'm just kind of I always look mad, but anyway, I'm usually not. But yeah, it was just like I was telling the guys there, I'm like, you know, if you really want to set yourself apart, yeah, you got to show people what you're doing. You got to tell your story, not just as a story, but like just get on social media and tell your story as a business, and you know, let people see what you're doing. Let introduce yourself to people, because you know it's awkward. I hate doing it, but I'm trying to do it more every day and just trying to update what we're doing and show people our process, and it's working for me too. So yeah, it's good advice.
I think it's important to remember that people are yearning for realism every day because everything that they're watching is made up or color corrected or Botoxed or whatever you want to come up with. It's all made up, and it's true. And I'm telling you, like, everything you see on TV is not what it really is. And so when they can get on this stuff and really find something real, I think people are drawn to it. And that's why it's important that it goes back to the owner doing it, is because they can really give a perspective of what's going on instead of, again, someone else is hired and they're making something look like what it's really not. So I really think people are yearning for real stuff.
It's also like, right? As an owner, but you know, as an owner, you want to get it done. You want to film it or take the picture, whatever. You want to get the fuck back to work. Like, you just want to get back to work. And I think you see that. You're not going to spend, 45 minutes trying to get the perfect shot or trying to get the perfect angle. Like, we're just trying to, hey, check this out. I think it's cool. Hope you think it's cool. Done. Next, let's get back to work. And I think that's where you get the realism. You don't get that perfect. Like, my biggest issue, or I'll be told, I need pictures of that job. Like, yeah, that job's not picture worthy yet. And I keep getting told, like, who cares? Who cares, man, that the client didn't put bushes in yet? Like, who cares? But I'm so, I want to post the best version of that job. So I have trouble with that. Whereas I notice I'll post a job that has, even the turf, like the sod's not even down yet, and I'll get a crazy amount of likes. Instead of waiting, a year for the pristine landscape and all that, and I lost all that opportunity to bring in that client. So I'm learning. I'm still learning with. If you look at
some of those really nice accounts, I don't know, I'm not just bringing up name, like Imagine Design. Like, if you look at their reels and how many followers they have and pictures, likes, and everything, they're fancy, perfect pictures. Your work site pictures and on the job site pictures in McQueen do better than their posts, do better than their reels. Like, people want to see what it really looks like. Like Andy's saying, like, they don't want the butt implants, they don't want the Botox, they want to see what it actually looks like and see what it looks like on the job, like from a camera, from a normal iPhone, whatever.
Yep. And I feel that it looks like your job. You can't mistake it for, this guy's reposting a magazine picture, or this guy's reposting, this looks like your job, because who else is going to take the picture of the wall half built? You know what I mean? No cycles walking around with a camera just taking pictures of unfinished jobs. Yeah. So you actually need those unfinished to claim the finished, I think. You need a couple of progress, and then you put the final, and you're like, I have this one showing me building it. So,
Yeah.
So it's a trip. Like, it's insane how no matter how many posts, no matter how long that, we've all been on Instagram for so long, but I no matter how long I've been on, I feel like I'm always relearning it. I'm always reteaching myself, right? I'm always following accounts like, you guys have great accounts. And I'm like, man, you know what? Maybe I should just have taken that picture. Maybe I should have posted that. Maybe, but at the end of the day, it's like, I have to also find I'm not making the time to do it. Not that the time's not there. I'm not making the time. And my brother's been really good at that. So he's been helping out a lot, where I'll turn around, have a camera in my face. And, at first I'm like, just put the camera down, get back to work. But then I appreciate him doing it because it actually benefits us.
It helps.
But Mike, I was going to ask you guys a question. How do you feel? I don't know if you guys experienced this, but not that I experienced it, but I'm wondering, you say we got to show ourselves. But, there's two ways of looking at showing your crew. might make them, gives them some confidence and all that. Do you think that it ever gets to a point, or have you ever experienced where you start showing your crew a lot and they start getting like a big head about it? Feeling like, you know what I mean? Like feeling like, hey, well, look, the people like me type thing.
If they like them, then use it to your advantage. I mean, like we have a younger kid that we just hired that he starts in April. He's really into Instagram, and he like even mentioned, he's like, can I help out? And I'm like, well, at this point, we're not, but it could be a possible. And like the people that are struggling to find these younger people, it's going to help you having Instagram because they want to be a part of it. It's not just to take over the show. They want to be the guy setting the boulder in the picture next to the pool, like Craig setting those boulders the other day on the pool. Like you're the one on the actual job site. Craig's in the machine, but the person really getting the footage is on the job site, and that's the workers. So I haven't had that issue at all. I think the workers think it's cool because they share our work, they tag us, and they share it. So I haven't had any of that issues.
The guy that comes to mind to me is Sean Collinsgrew over at Premier Outdoor. His whole crew is like, they're all, characters in the whole thing. And you know what I mean? So I think there's value to that because, I mean, then they know it's just not you, the owner. You got a bunch of guys that are awesome too. You know what I mean? And good at their jobs.
Yeah.
I think for me, it's like, I can't hardly, I hate doing it so much sometimes that I think that they might too, and it's like, it's probably a conversation we should have, but we were shooting for our YouTube video, and we were doing the pool coping, and I was actually explaining like how we lay out and how we pull string lines and how we set up our corners and all this. And I looked at Byron and I had the GoPro in my hand. I was like, I hate this. And he's like, yeah, me too. But they see the value in it, so like, I'm not asking them to talk on camera, or if they want to, they sure can. But I think it does offer like Nick, you're right. Sean has a great thing going where like everybody's involved and they've just kind of owned it, and I think that's a big deal. So it's a conversation you definitely should have, I guess. And actually, I always love these because I'm learning so much already. So.
I've already learned a bunch too already, and I mean, like I said, you can learn everything. I learned a bunch from about Greg this weekend with how they run all of their social media and what they're doing. We got invited to go, and I learned about how they post and when they post, and it's everybody does it different. And once you find your niche of Instagram, but no matter what, it's consistency and showing your face. The two things: consistency and showing your face. That's all it is. Whether it's a finished picture or a picture with the GeoGrid showing and the hammer on the side and your employee stacking the block, it's a picture. It's something that continues your page going, because in order to get the algorithm working, you have to continuously post on all of this stuff, and then it goes in a circle and works all together.
Yeah, definitely. No, it makes perfect sense. Now, how do you guys find the new? Well, first of all, are you guys sponsoring ads and all that? Like, do you?
No.
No.
Oh, Andy's
big time over there. He's got. He's
he comes to you from the truck, then he's in his office. He's all over.
Sorry,
there is two of you.
Still getting more.
Tony, you're back.
Yeah. Are you guys? Yeah. Sorry, I was getting a call. Are you guys sponsoring any ads?
No.
Because what's happening now, and because my wife actually just did a little campaign where she sponsored some ads put on Google and all that, through all these AIs and these what do they call GPTs or whatever they are. GPT.
He's gone again.
Somebody really wants to get a hold of him.
I just want to take a break from today's episode to talk about our sponsor, Cycle CPA. You may have a CRM or project management software in place, but what data are you using to ensure your estimating is accurate? Having a proper accounting setup and accurate bookkeeping done is key to understanding overhead expenses and other costs that must be recouped in your estimates. Cycle CPA is a remote bookkeeping and CFO firm that helps to connect the dots from the financial reports to the hardscape and landscape data needed in order to reach high profits. They provide landscape and hardscape industry benchmarking, job costing, financials by service line, advisory meetings, and much more. Cycle CPA's team of accountants are specialized within the hardscape and landscape industry, and you can visit them at cyclecpa.com, and for $200 off, mention the How to Hardscape podcast. Now back to our episode. Yeah, none of you guys have ever done like a boosted post or anything like that.
I did.
Sorry, I got a truck. I got a truck being worked on back home, and I'm getting some calls about it. But
yeah,
but that's it. It actually calculates your if your ad's working for the right I guess audience, and recalculates constantly. So I find that now my ads are doing way better than they were, because before let's say we would sponsor, get nothing out of it, whereas now it's giving us a great response.
Interesting.
Yeah, I sponsored.
I don't know how it works, but
I sponsored. Earlier when we first started trying to gain followers, and I was trying to gain followers, I did that, but then I found out those weren't good followers, like because they weren't staying around. Like they'd stay around for a month or so, then you see them drop off. I think me and Nick, we talked about this a little bit ago. Like once we got to 100,000 followers, it was actually really hard to keep it going. I mean, keep the growth going. Like now we're back to that normal, like 1,000 every week and a half gaining. But for a while there, we actually went backwards because it was just
right now.
Yeah.
Got to keep feeding the beast.
Yeah,
100,000 follower problems.
Yeah.
Guru life.
Yeah. I'm excited today. Actually, so does Cruz call himself Cruz or Crux? Cruz or Crux?
Cruz.
Lloyd. It's Cruz. So I'm actually going to his facilities at 3:00, and I'm actually going to go see his whole facilities. Joel Nunez and all them. I'm going to go meet up with them and go to dinner with him. And then John from Signature, tomorrow night we're going to a Bulls game. So
nice. Oh, nice.
Invite, dude. I'm like 30 minutes from John.
What? I told you I was in town.
I'm just telling you, I like Bulls, but whatever.
Jesus, here it is, dude. Here it is.
Are you a single Bulls player? So whatever.
Oh man, dude.
Michael Jordan? Is he still?
Well, I mean, other than him.
Well, the next time I know, I didn't know, man. I'm sorry, dude. You may feel bad now.
It's all good.
So, what happened to Tony? Tony gone?
Yeah, it looks like Tony's gone. Guys, I feel like that's a great way to end this. I won't bring up another whole topic of conversation and get into another wormhole with you guys here. I really appreciate the conversation. I didn't even have to ask many questions there. So it's always good when I don't have to talk much. But guys, episode 200 here, How to Hardscape podcast. Thank you so much for your time throughout all these roundtables, throughout all these I Am a Hardscaper series. I do really appreciate it. So we're going to go on my screen in order at least. Let our audience know where they can find you. Any closing comments, remarks that you want to make from our topic of conversation today, or anything else in general that's on your mind. So closing comments, remarks, where can our audience find you? Starting there with Evan, Pride Hardscape.
We are Pride Hardscape Construction. We're based out of Willamette Valley of Oregon. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and also YouTube Shorts just started, and we should have a YouTube channel within the next month. So thank you very much for having us, Michael, and all you guys. Thank you very much.
Awesome. On to Nick, Earthworks Landscaping.
Mike, I just wanted to give you a shout out. You're changing the world of hardscaping, man. So I just appreciate everything you do. So thank you so much. You can find us on Instagram at Earthworks Landscaping. I'm really intending on putting out some more YouTube content this year, so you can check us out on YouTube coming up this season. And just thanks for having us, man.
I appreciate that. And you guys are all, doing your part, and everybody's doing, it's amazing, the Instagram community, how everybody's kind of elevating the industry together. I'm a very small part of that. I appreciate that. On to Scheller Outdoor Living there.
Well, it's been really fun, kind of growing the social media and the network, like you just said, is fantastic. And the people we get to go around and see, and it's just amazing. And but I appreciate you having me on, and I guess just everything's Scheller Outdoor Living. So it's Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, and then Backyard Conversations. I have podcasts going, so if you want to check that out, you can too.
While you're listening to this, Backyard Conversations, go over there and subscribe. It's right in your app as you're listening to this, as well as Mulder, Andy Mulder, Mulder Outdoors.
Yeah, you can find me at Mulder Outdoors. We have a YouTube channel. Hoping to continue to do weekly videos this year, or at least job videos. Doing that, but and then the Mulder Life podcast, we drop an episode every Wednesday usually, and yeah, I don't know what else, but I really appreciate everything that you do, Mike, and I appreciate your quest for being the ultimate guru.
Sounds good.
Thank you so much, and
10x for life.
10x, bro.
There's 2 more podcasts that you need to go listen to, and we just lost Tony as we were about to get to Tony there, though. Tony Zamko, that's Zamko Group or Group Zamko. Oh, he's getting back in here, so we'll let him finish things off here as I admit him. Hopefully he shows up. Tony, can you hear us?
So, yeah, wait. Oh, where is that? There we go.
Tony, can you hear us?
Wait, the structure.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, let us know where our audience can go find you.
At Zamko Group on Instagram, same thing on Facebook, and obviously our website, groupzamko.com.
Awesome. Guys, thank you so much. Once again, thank you so much for listening to today's episode 200. I really appreciate your time to listen to these episodes. I really appreciate any feedback that you send us at How to Hardscape on Instagram or contact at howtohardscape.com. Anything and everything, feedback, criticism, or any guests that you want to see in the future on this show. And once again, thank you to our sponsors, Cycle CPA. If you need bookkeeping, accounting, CFO services, reach out to Cycle CPA at cyclecpa.com or cycle_CPA on Instagram. Let them know How to Hardscape sent you for $200 off their services there. And a big thank you for GPS Track It for jumping on board and supporting the show. So if you need GPS tracking, go to gpstrackit.com/howtohardscape. And we look forward to meeting with you next week on the How to Hardscape podcast.